Hello! Finally, I managed to get the stream to work. Congratulations, me. So, yeah, welcome. It is my stream that you are watching, so welcome to that. No camera today because my webcam's, not working. But that's fine, you don't need to see my face. You just need to see what I'm working on, which is... Oh no, sorry, I just realised I did something. Anyway, just ignore that. Moving on. Can you tell I'm a little flustered right now, spending so much time trying to get the stream to work? Time to calm down and do the stream. Okay. Yeah, so, again, hello. And I asked you guys a while ago, well, yesterday, what you guys would rather see me do, and 75% of you said you'd want to see me working on the Lapis and Peridot animation. So that's what we're going to do today. I also thought I would show you what I've done so far, so my progress, keep you up to date, and also teach you a bit about animation, because, you know, learning is fun. So right now I'll just show what I've done so far. Really haven't done a lot. Well, I've done a lot, but there's so much to do in animation that, you know, it takes a long time, and especially for me working full time, it's going to take a long time to complete. But yeah, this is what I've got so far. I have the rough animation layer, which is the, you know, whatever, and then I'm just gonna mute the music. So I have my rough animation, and the entire video is about a minute long, or just under, 46 seconds. Damn, I thought it was longer. What? Oh well. So that's how long the video is. And as well as the rough animation, I of course have the not so rough animation, which is the line art and stuff. And I've coloured a few of the frames just because I was bored at one point and wanted to colour in the frames, so I did that. And yeah, okay, now, time to watch what I've done so far. I'll show you the sort of line work, and then I'll show you the whole thing. No, actually, I'll do it the other way around. Here we go. So you see we've got, I forgot her name. How did I figure out her name? Lapis. We've got Lapis doing a little dance, and then Peridot's like, heck yeah, time to dance with her. As you can see there, doing a little moonwalk. And then I quite like that part. I think it's really cute, the Lapis giggle. And she swings her around, and then they fuse, and they form turquoise. Who would have guessed? And yeah, so that's the animation, the rough animation that is. And then now I shall show you what I've got so far in terms of not so rough animation. And that's it. God, that took so long for me to do, and it's 15 seconds. So now I guess we'll get to doing the animation thing, and while I'm at it, I'll teach you guys how to do it. So this is where I'm up to. I'm up to lining the Peridot's moonwalk. But I'm not going to do that one today because the type of animation that it is. It's kind of frustrating for me because you have to draw kind of the same thing. Oh man, it's been so long since I've been to animation uni. So I'm trying to... So there's straight ahead animation. I can word things. Straight ahead animation, which is what this kind of is, where instead of going... Okay, I swear I can word this. Okay, no, we'll start with pose to pose. That's a better example. So this is a good example of pose to pose animation, which is it goes from this pose to this pose. And so what you do in between, so you first off draw the two poses, and then in between the poses you draw the character going from pose A to pose B. And it's quite simple really, especially when the character's only doing a simple gesture or action. And yeah, whereas different to pose animation, there is straight ahead animation, which is when, well, I mean, it kind of is pose to pose. It's a bit in between, really. Sure, she kind of has poses and stuff, but you can't really, like, if you drew this pose and then this pose, you couldn't really just draw in the middle. I mean, you can, but just, you know, whatever. We're not going to work on it at the moment. That's what I'm trying to say, because it's kind of frustrating, and I don't want to be frustrated when I'm with you guys. I just want to be calm and relaxed. So what we are going to do today is animate maybe this giggle. No, what we're going to do is animate Peridot here. So we're going to animate her from going kind of looking down, all stoic like almost, and then reaching out for Lapis's hand. But I think I'm going to change this pose a little bit because it looks kind of odd, and I think yeah. So let's make the pen black because that's what the color liner is. And a little fun fact for when you're drawing, if you're using Adobe Animate and you're using a tablet to draw, when you click on the brush, there's the use pressure. You should always use that, because then you can have pressure on your pen. Whereas if you do not do that, then you do not have any pressure at all, and it sucks. So you should always have that pressure on. Also, Nathan Sazinski, so sorry if I butchered your name, asked, have you ever done a Peridot Amethyst fusion? I have. Can't remember what it was called. If you just look up Peridot Amethyst fusion Nonpanary, it'll probably come up. I think it was... Actually, yeah, the first fusion I ever did was Peridot and Amethyst, but then that was before I was doing the speed paints. And then I redid it, and the redid one is much better, so you should look up that one. Now for animating. And actually I'll put on that music again, because just drawing in silence is kind of not fun to watch. So I'm going to first off change the expression, not the expression, but the angle of her face. I'm going to have her more looking, wait, oh, that's too big. Also, another tip for animating is always have references. especially turnaround sheets, they're super helpful. Though I know the Steven Universe animators don't tend to use them, or don't have official ones. Well, no, they do have official ones, but they're kind of pretty lax about it and don't stick to it, but it's still really useful to have. So... oh, that's too much of a pointy chin. Also, of course, let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to answer them. They don't have to be about animating, but of course they can be about animating. Actually, I'll go back to that later. It's kind of hard for me to think about things to talk about when I'm drawing, so sorry about that if I just go silent for minutes at a time, but I'll try not to, because it's more fun when, you know, I converse rather than just being silent and boring. And something I kind of want to disclaim is with this animation at least, I'm not going to try and make everything perfect. I mean, I say correcting what I'm doing right now. Just because, you know, I'm doing a full animation by yourself is kind of time consuming in itself, but I do have work full time, and this is just a fan animation, so I'm not worrying too much about everything being perfect. And especially in the style of the show, like it is a bit in the style, but it's also got a bit of Tony style, which is fine. Because if I tried to make sure that everything, you know, was super duper accurate, then it would take me a lot longer, and you guys probably don't want to wait too long. By the time I finish it, Steven Universe will become irrelevant. Hopefully that won't happen. Also, be sure to let me know if I'm too quiet or if the music is too quiet and you can't hear either one, because that would suck. But there's only so much I can do about it if I don't know. This is quite an awkward pose that she's in. Not super, you know, anatomically correct. But that's fine, because, again, you know, as long as it looks fine, which I believe it does, then it's like, whatever. When you draw over something, it's meant to go on top of it, but it's not for some reason, and oh well. Oh, Flash, always. Oh, it's not Flash, Adobe Animate. Same thing. Always not responding. So just right now what I'm doing is Peridot's pictures and stuff in the show, her shirt doesn't have a black lining and the gem, it has a green lining, so I'm just making sure that that's a thing that is happening. I think I'll just quickly correct up this line. So I'll just tell you, I did kind of go over it before, the kind of This is very, very, very basic animation I'm telling you about. But how to animate by Nonpanary. First off, assuming you know what frames are and stuff, you draw one picture and then you draw the final picture that it's going to be, or the next pose, or and then you draw the two poses, and then once you've done that, then you divide it up by clearing the frames, and then I'll show you how to do that part after I've done this. I definitely prefer this pose to that one, but whatever. Also, as always, if you guys have any art requests, maybe not for the stream, because as you can see here, I've already got stuff to do, which is to animate this. But for other videos, and even just for art's sake, if you want me to draw anything or do any fan fusions, just let me know and I will definitely consider doing that. Oh damn, that mouth is quite terrifying. Let's try that again. No, that doesn't look quite right. One thing I hate about drawing and animating is when you draw the draft and it looks fine, like this hand looks fine, and then you go to trace it and it's like, well, you know, do the lining, and then it's like, no. Also, thank you to Crystal Henson, who said this looks amazing. You are amazing. This hand, huh? I know I said I was fine with it not being perfect, but damn son, that's not. It's quite far from perfect. I was gonna make sure it looks at least somewhat okay. I was a bit hesitant to do an animation live stream because with animation, it's pretty much just drawing the same things over and over again, and I know that's not the most interesting thing to watch. Whatever, that's fine. As I said before, I don't really have the time to just make everything look perfect. So that hand will do. Plus with animation, you can kind of get away with that kind of stuff because you'll only see this shot for a few seconds. To be not even 1 second actually. So it goes from 21.5 seconds to, yeah, so it's literally half a second long. So you don't have to worry about it too much being perfect. And I know that if you pause some of the shots from the actual Steven universe, they're also not, you know, always perfect. Although the, of course, Crewniverse animation team are all very, 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 very talented. But even then you get some funky little, funky looking shots. Another tip, a fun animation tip is just looking between your poses and saying if anything's off. Or anything you want to change. For example, I think this head it definitely grows in size. So let's just change that. Way to go, Flash. That's definitely what I wanted to do. Also, fun little tip as well is if you hold down shift when you resize, it'll be in the same scale. Also, since for conversation's sakes, you guys tell me a bit about yourselves and how's your day been? What goes on in the interesting lives of yours? Because I can talk while I stream. While I draw. But what's hard is thinking of things to talk about, I guess, when you're drawing. Because your mind's kind of focusing on, making sure what you're doing is good. And then also focusing on talking. And then the second thing, the third thing, which is thinking of things to talk about. My brain is not that. I've only got a few brain cells, okay? Can't use them all up at once. Also, head's a bit low here. Okay, that's fine. It's only being shown for half a second, so whatever, Okay, now, next step to animation is after you've done the two poses that you want to go from one to the other. Usually frames are in twos in most animation. Unless you hold it for a second, which is what I did here and here. So we'll start. Ooh. From here onwards. And then you split it up in twos. And what I personally like to do, so there, as you can see, are 5 different frames in between these two poses. And so I like to go in the middle, if there is a middle. Sometimes if it's an even number, then you can't do that. But then, and this is honestly really quite lazy animation when you do this, but whatever. As I said, don't have a lot of time. and kind of draw in between the lines. You know, there, as you can see, there are areas where that's very easy to do. For example, the body. You can see in between here is where the side of her waist is going to be. So when you do that, it kind of gradually goes into that. But there are areas where it's difficult or impossible to do. For example, this hand, you can't really do that. Plus, you really shouldn't do that with arms anyway, because the way they move is kind of specific and you don't want it to look like a robot. So, but just for now, we can do this. And just make sure it's all right. And as you can see, just making sure that line is in between those two other lines. And the star. I can probably do it with this arm though. Also, I really like how Peridot's hair is pretty much just a triangle, because that's pretty easy to in between. So you just have to do what I said before and make sure the lines are like that. Oh, look at that face. And hey, it's far from perfect, but it's just not even like a fraction of a second. So whatever. Don't have a lot of time. And as I said before, sometimes if you know you can't always just go in the between the lines because it is there will be an even amount in between the two frames. Does that make sense? So you just as you can see, the onion layer is two colors. The one on the left is the frame, the blue frame, and the frame on the right is the green one. So because we're on this one, which is closer to the blue, we'll do the line thing a bit closer to the blue. No clue if that made sense or not. Probably not. Interesting. Seems like Flash doesn't want to work. That's fun. Looks like I'm stuck on a racer or something. Oh well. I think I'm gonna call it for this stream. Just because it's been almost an hour and now it's not working. Maybe next time I'll do a longer stream. But yeah, so this is what was done for this part. Really not much, and it's not great, but so yeah. Let's see if it's still, no, it's working now. But I already said that I was going to cancel the stream now. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hopefully I'll do another one if you guys are interested. Let me know and I'll stream again next time. You know, I want to do work on the animation. But again, let me know. So yeah, bye.